Hey everybody, and welcome back to Legends of Evil, where I talk about the villains outside of the comic books. And in honor of some news that came out of Boom Studios today, you guys can go check out Comic Universe, my other channel that I do with C-Dubs and Jay. On that channel, you can click the link below and check out that channel. Check out this recent news about the Pyscho Rangers not only returning, but also getting in their own graphic novel. Yeah. So I decided, you know what? It'd be a cool idea. Let's talk about the Pyscho Rangers. I don't talk a lot about on Legends of Evil. I don't really talk a lot about the Power Ranger villains. So I figured, what the hell? Let's talk about one. Let's talk about some Ranger villains. And I'm going to be talking about like a fan favorite right out the gate. I'm definitely going to be talking about a fan favorite. The Pyscho Rangers first appeared in Power Rangers in Space and then carried over into Lost Galaxy, where they made a big comeback. The Pyscho Rangers were essentially these race of villains and monsters that were created by Astronema to destroy the Rangers. They were all stronger, faster, more intelligent than the original Rangers. In fact, they managed to outsmart several of the Rangers. But what made them one of the most dangerous things about them was that they could turn into their own monsters. Rather than have Psycho Zords, which actually would have been completely kick-ass, the Pyscho Rangers could turn themselves into monsters. But there was another factor that they had over the Rangers. They had teamwork. Sure, they argued and bickered sometimes, but they worked as a cohesive team most of the time. And that was something that a lot of the Power Ranger villains never really had. There was never really a lot of cohesion or a lot of, working together. And sometimes when they did, they'd usually stab each other in the back. They'd usually just be like, hey, fuck you, you're dead. The moment I get my chance, I'm going to kill you and claim all the glory in the name of such and such. So that was the big thing with the Pyscho Rangers, was that even though they argued and bickered sometimes, they usually were on the same team because, yeah, they were made to destroy the Rangers. Now, the Pyscho Rangers, like I said, were a big villain for both In Space and Lost Galaxy. When they came into Lost Galaxy, they took on the Lost Galaxy and In Space Rangers. This is also where they get the ultimate bragging rights. In that, yeah, these guys were one of the few. This is the team that these are the guys who have the bragging rights of killing a Power Ranger. Let's talk about that for a second. Out of all the villains in the Power Rangers Rogues Gallery, you had Zed, Goldar, King Mondo, Master Vile, so many Power Ranger villains who always talked about, oh, I'm going to one day kill these Rangers and, cement my name in evil for destroying the Power Rangers, blah. But they never did it. And along come the Pyscho Rangers, and Psycho Pink is the one who manages to kill the original Pink Lost Galaxy Ranger. Granted, the real reason why she left the show was because the actress was dealing with breast cancer, which she did survive, and she did come back as like a Force ghost kind of thing at the end of the show, so I thought that was pretty cool. But however, there was also the Pyscho Rangers. While they did have a connection to Astronema, they did actually help her character along the way. Because you see, when the original Pink Lost Galaxy Ranger, was killed by Psycho Pink, this allowed Astronema, who had gone by her real name, Corone, to take up the mantle. Which I always thought was kind of cool. It was like a nice little full circle story for her. Like how, in this storyline, the cycle was she was a villain. She began to question herself when she found out Andros was her brother. and then made the Psycho Rangers, nearly destroyed the universe, and then was finally saved and has now gone full circle in her redemption arc by becoming one of the things she tried to destroy. So I always thought that was kind of cool of how, you know, Astronema went from Corone to Pink Ranger. And I always liked that was kind of cool, because before, as much as I liked TJ from, you know, Turbo and In Space, you know, him just showing up was just kind of like, whatever. But they could have easily got Joe Schmo to play the next Pink Plus Galaxy Ranger, but instead they got someone who was already tied to the Ranger mythology, and it actually made sense for her character arc, really. So I always dug that. So I always thought that was a cool angle they played with within the show, honestly. But the Psycho Rangers, I always wanted to see them come back because I always thought they were like a formidable villain. Just as a team, and as just separately, they were all dangerous as well. I mean, they could instantly become monsters. They were smarter, if not they were smart and or if not smarter than the Rangers themselves. These guys brought it. These guys brought it every time. I always dug what was called, a lot of people called the Psycho Saga. I know that actually, like, I know that's not really a thing, but a lot of fans called it, when the Psycho Rangers were around, the Psycho Saga. So I actually dug that. And, of course, like I said, they did come back in some capacity. They did appear in Shattered Grid, where they actually teamed up with Lord Draken to be like his hunters. Like, they were kind of like the Inquisitors from Star Wars, in that they hunted down and killed other Rangers throughout the grid, you know, connected through the morphing grid. Ugh, I am so tongue-tied today. They basically hunted down and murdered several Rangers in the name of Dracon, because they kind of Lord Draken, because they kind of figured, yeah, Draken's gonna kill us anyway, so might as well do that. We also got the introduction of Psycho Green, who was actually trying to free Rita in 1968 or 9. Basically, the first Rangers Zordon put together were a group of adults to stop Psycho Green from freeing Rita, which inevitably did happen, sadly. So, I thought that was kind of cool, and Psycho Green has returned and is now the leader of the Psycho Rangers. So that's going to be really cool. If you want to know my thoughts further on this news about the Psycho Ranger graphic novel, you guys can click the link below and go check out that video, as well as subscribe if you haven't already to Comic Universe, where you guys can like, share, and subscribe to the other videos. We've got a contest for Batman number 1000, and a chance to get the Batman Who Laughs Funko Pop as well. Just wanted to throw that out there. I know shameless plug is shameless, but hey, you know, why not pimp your shit out while you're out there, right? But yeah, so that's really cool. You guys can get my further thoughts on the graphic novel. But I figured, you know what? I want to talk about the Psycho Rangers. I've finished talking about them on a comic scale, on the comic level. I want to talk about them on the villain level, because these guys were intimidating. They were just cool looking. Like, that was the interesting thing about the Psycho Rangers, was that they looked cool. They didn't just look like, you know, they didn't just look like past fake Rangers, because I've seen some fake Rangers before. Remember that time when Zed made his own Rangers? Ooh, that was not good. That was not good. So I like that. They had a cool aesthetic, and they had some cool power set, and they were actually threatening. Like, these guys could have carried a Power Rangers show by themselves as villains. That's how good they were as opponents to the Power Rangers, and you can see why they become such a mainstay in the fandom. So there you go, guys. Those are my thoughts on the Psycho Rangers. What did you guys think of them? Did you guys like them, hate them? Comment below, let me know. Once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see you guys later.